I've got this lovely board, the Neo Element, and I'm going to just kind of build this in pieces. So here it is in the hot swap form. And I've already attached the pigtail. All I've done with this at this point is I have essentially powered this on, verified that it works. So that was my goal there, because I am not going to try to build it, put the whole thing together, install the board, and have this thing dead on arrival. Want to see me be upset and gripe a lot? That's one way you do it, folks. So what we got? We've got us. Unfortunately, one of my bigger gripes about this board is the folks who built it are still in the process of getting the VIA support worked out, because that was a thing. So we're going to just roll with it and see what we can do. So we're going to start off with doing stabilizers. I've already tested the board, and that's the first thing I should do with this, is I should test the board. So already done. Hey, cool. And I'm going to get the stabilizers prepped, and I've got me a lovely rubber glove because I'm going to be using some of the BDZ, and this stuff gets everywhere. Pack. So cool. We've got the Wuque, Wu-Tang. No, not Wu-Tang. That's different. Yeah. So we'll have that. Get these all prepped up. Ooh, I need some 205 G0. We'll need that for later as well. And I need my tweezers, my 205 brush, and my red. Kind of slide over here a smidge. My red BDZ brush for when the BDZ is required. And how can I do this? I want to... One of the few times where I'm sitting here kind of going to myself, man, I wish I had my 40% here. Yeah, life goes on. So yeah, let's see what's been going on. I mean, this board is one of those things where I look at it and I kind of laugh. Not about the board or the designers or anything. It's just kind of I'm laughing at myself more than anything else, because I purchased this partially as impulse on like the last day of the group buy, and had decided, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. I can't remember what I watched somebody's YouTube video on it, and it's like, oh, that looks really cool, maybe I should pick that up. And so I did, and these feel good. I'm gonna be really lazy about these, because really the one I'm worried about is the long good, and the little guys are usually fine. I don't see any major issues here. Just kind of rocking them. I don't trust you though. You're a little weird. I'm gonna set you aside. I use you last. All right, we got our stems and all these other bits. Let's get them all organized, and then we'll get them prepped. And I should also make sure I know how many do I need. I think I obviously need the 6.25. And I need to pull up the website of Neo just so I can see it. Let's see. 1, 2, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's got a small shift on the right side for the hot swap. Let's move that. Wrong panel. Excuse me while I do multiple things at once, and none of them quite as I planned. Windows, please stop being helpful. You're not being helpful, Windows. Come on, here we go. Let's praise it when it does the things it's supposed to. Alright, so spacebar. Enter, backspace, shift. Yeah, that's it. So I need exactly, I need 4, I need 2. Yeah, let's see if I can say it again. I need 3 2Us and 1 675 or 625. All right, yeah. You stay there and live in your static bag. Good machine. All right, so we don't need those. 2, 4, 6, 8 of those. This can be set aside. In fact, let's set them aside. Now I'm just going to get all the things I don't need out of my way, because that means I have a tidier workspace as I do this. So this kind of meh, I have plans for him, so not a problem. Each one's a little process, each one's maybe not perfect, but you know, I think that's kind of the thing that a lot of folks lose is if every build is perfect and there isn't a little bit of a mistake or something to just kind of give it that uniqueness, I think there's something lost there. It's like if you've reached perfection, what's to improve upon? So yeah, I'm sure if you look at what I'm doing versus what some other professional does, yeah, maybe I'm not doing it as nicely. It's not as pretty, but we're here to do work, not pretty. Pretty is the end result, not the process. It's like no one wants to know how sausage gets made, including me. I'll have the circuit board plugged in and the key tester up, and I'll just be installing switches that way. And when the key tester says, yes, that switch has been depressed, I know that I have lined myself up on the socket and I can press. And that's it. Pretty simple. The only downside, of course, is I've got this thing plugged in and I need to be careful because A, handling this while electronics is hot is not exactly the best idea ever. And secondly, you know, these little connectors are not exactly what I'd call rugged. So I need to be gentle on my installation, so I don't yank that around. So I need to make sure I got lots of slack. And oh yeah, I conveniently have this USB cable that will have plenty of slack, so we're good. And I am going to go for a really stiff typing build on this, so this will be kind of fun because I haven't tried a really stiff plate. I've got a carbon fiber plate that I'm going to be installing on this dude, so I literally went hard for both of my selections. I usually try to buy enough pieces to like essentially swap out the PCB and plate and just go with it. So I literally have 2 PCBs, 2 plates, and the fixins to go in them. And I was about to do the same thing I just said I wasn't going to do with that washer. And so, yeah, I decided I was going to try carbon fiber, and the alternate plate was brass, and the brass one weighs a ton. It is surprisingly heavy. And I did test fit the switches in the carbon fiber plate, because I have been burned by really crappy cutting jobs on plates, and usually I'm using FR4. That's honestly my go-to. And power to him, but I do not have that board. I do not see myself owning said board. So, well, what do? We move on. There's always another board. I need to remember that myself some days when I kind of have my own major fits of fear of missing out. Give my hands at least an attempt at washing. I also wanted to grab a switch. I've got these for my spacebar. I've got some Gateron inks that I have done a lube, filmed, and I also put a long spring in these for the lulls, and this will be my space. This is actually going to be a linear gang build, and normally I don't. I primarily do tactiles. The exception being for ortholinears. I've done a couple. By couple, I mean two ortho boards. And usually I'll put linears in them because it's like the tactile is, honestly, I find it kind of distracting. So, in the interest of trying something new, because, see, that's the other thing. We should try things. If we just watch some other dude and say, oh, well, this guy did it, and that's how everyone else should be doing it, then we're really not learning anything. We're just copying. So, you know, I'm gonna try some stuff here and there and see if I can find some new and interesting preferences. So, what do we got for switches? We've got some Gateron Vermillion Birds. I got these off of Board during the actually post group buy, because I did not group buy these because I group buyed only the tactiles, and foolishly included it with another group buy. So I could not get them until much later, and did not know any better at the time because newbie. And you know what happens with newbies, we make newbie mistakes. All right, key tester. Website. Yes. KeyboardTester.com. That's exactly what I want. We will go to that. Launch the tester. Launch the boots. All right. Now we get this dude plugged in. So that goes there. So I got it plugged into my computer. And then I'll take this. We'll set the Gateron ink aside because it's special. Or we'll do it first. Maybe we'll just do it first. And I can't tell if you can see that, but it has powered up. Maybe you can see. I'm sure you can see the bottom underglow if I... Maybe. So yeah, the software is incomplete for this board, so that's part of the excitement. I have no way to actually configure the LEDs. Oh boy. All right, so here comes the fun bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, now that I've plugged it in, I'm gonna brace the bottom here with my thumb. So this is the socket I'm gonna be bracing, and then as I've got the switch depressed, and then I'm just looking for the program to essentially acknowledge that I have done something. And once I know I've got a hit, I can just press. Oops. And then I need to get the plate snapped in. Oh, I need to turn that down. Oh, that's going to be obnoxious. I got this clicking noise when I press and hold things. Yep, looking good. We're making progress. That is the important thing, folks. Progress, not Congress. That's not right. Get these in, and then we'll move on to the next step of figuring out what do we do next, because I'm assuming I'm just going to be able to just put this inside the case and with some foam pad bits, and we're good to go, I think. Oh, you all hear that noise too. I am so sorry. I just realized that click noise is really obnoxious. So, apologies. Ugh. I am a smarty every day. Oy. All right. I think we've got enough in now I can do the ink. So, Gateron ink with a long spring. Nothing too exciting here. I could probably even get away with not even using the ink, but I'm kind of, you know, I think the Vermilions actually have a lighter spring than this one. This one I think is a 67 or 68 gram spring. Getting there. Man, I really dislike that. It's like I've got contact, you can hear it, but as soon as I start pressing, I'm not getting anywhere, and I don't know why. Let me silence that for now. Not Josh. Silence. Yeah, I mean, it's just not pushing and clicking in. Got it. Man, that one was stiff. Yeah. There's just a few of these where it's just been really a serious push. Yeah, that one bent, I think. Nope. No, it didn't bend. Not yet. Two more. It's all we gotta do, man. All right. Last one. And as they would say in 40K, for the Empire. Well, maybe not. There we go. Cool. All right. That horrible clicking noise stops now. So I disconnect this. Set this aside. Hello, Trouble Wub. One of my beautiful cats has joined us. Set you aside right now. Put you there. Let's break out the actual board. That's not the actual board. That's the foam that goes in the board. That doesn't count. Here we are. So the element, it is red. It is actually pretty nice. And we should do the thing that needs to happen first. So first let me give this a little sweep to make sure I don't have any major particles on my mouse pad here. I don't need pliers for this. That is simply, I'm going to put the feet on the board because then I can continue doing this. And are these the feet? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Hi. Hi. Look. Cat. I put my head in the way. Are you going to help me? Thankfully, I've gotten all the lubricants out of the way, and so your dainty presence at least can't contaminate half my lubrication supplies. So she's going to sit here and just be adorable while we do this. So I'm going to try to put stickers on with her head in the way. Boop. Boop. I booped your nose. It's terrible. Spoiled butt. Alright. This is stopped from being a keyboard build and it's turned into the Pet the Cat build. So we're going to sit here and have the cat just enjoy our presence. Yes, what does that smell like? Okay, this is not going to work, kitty. Come on. Oh. You can still continue to claim my lap, but you can't be on the desk. It's hard for me to do things. Do. Two. Yes, you're gonna make the the cat has turned this into a challenging mode is what this is. It's like, all right, are you gonna just kind of relax, hang out on my lap, be cute? Please don't pull anything down. That one did not seat like where I wanted to. Close, but not quite. There we go. That's the stuff. One more. So, my beautiful co-pilot here who likes to put her cute little pink nose into whatever it is that she feels like. There we go. All right, feet are on. And okay, now we got to pull this apart. I need an Allen wrench, which I looked for ahead of time. I thought I had it for my lovely screwdriver set, but for whatever reason, sure, it's not there. But I did have it in metric Allen, so we're doing this. Do this the hard way. And won't do anything super weird. I can at least keep track of them, and as long as I don't knock it over. Oh, man. They did put these in pretty tight, though, because, man, that screw. I'm going to be very upset if that strips. There it is. Oh, man. Alright, I'm just going to get these started. If you're hearing that tink noise, that's me essentially getting the screw to break loose so I can start unscrewing it. That's all I'm doing with these. I do not want to strip them. And hopefully they didn't cheap out on the hardware. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera, but like the very end of that screw is, it's a little, it's discolored. I'm not sure if it's, I don't think it's rust because it doesn't make sense. It's been, you know, it's not like it's been sitting in a box in a humid warehouse. Ooh, those are really long. Okay, good to know. Really long screws go toward the back. That explains the different hardware that I have in baggies sitting next to me. So I got extra hardware too. Very nice. I'll need that now. Go there. All right. Yep, it's free. So now, top should just lift off nicely. Hey, look at that. And, you know, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, like that's that spot right there, that white. That is, yeah, the anodization was damaged. And, you know, I guess to use the term that everyone loves in this hobby, that's literally scuffed, I suppose. However, it is also inside this board. My level of concern is not as high. So, but yeah, as long as the outer surfaces are okay, I can tolerate that. This looks okay. Yeah, it's just that one nick on the inside of the top case. Does that have an orientation? All right, so here's what I think is supposed to happen. A, I'm going to have to disconnect this JST connector because there's already one built into the, not built in, but there's already one installed in the case, so I don't need this one. So I need to gently pull that off. We'll set it aside for now. And we'll play the test fit game. Make sure we've got our head screwed on in terms of what we're doing. So this is going to land somewhere like that. Of course, there's going to be bits of foam involved. That is clearly not installed. And there's bits of foam on the top case as well. I would assume it's the top case because, however, there's not really a, oh, there is a channel. It's just very, very mild. So there's just really, okay, cool. And it too also has that shades of the Keychron. Oh, Keychron, what have you done? Revolutionized ringing technology. One ringy dingy, two ringy dingies. Okay, I see. So this is probably for the top, and I'm willing to bet this is for the bottom. That actually makes a ton of sense because there's... You can't see it very well in the camera, but essentially there are some smaller pour-on strips that go here and here. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 5. I get a spare? I don't know. Going with it. Provided I can get it to actually separate and not just tear the frickin' foam apart. Alright. There we go. Boy, that's a little harder than I'd like. Okay. Now the excitement of essentially installing stickers. I mean, really, that's what am I doing? I'm peeling off something and sticking it to another surface. It's just not paper. It's a sticker. Precision sticker installing. That's what we're doing now. See? Because, yeah, these are... You know what? Here's how I'm going to prove this. I'm going to pull up the surrounding material, but leave the strips intact. If possible. Or it's just going to take everything up. That's also pretty cool. Thanks. I'll make my job harder by trying to prove a point. There we go. So yes, I am intentionally trying to separate out the entire cutaway thing without actually deforming the strips. I don't need this, I can just set it aside. Or ruin it. That's also cool. And I've ruined that. Okay, good thing I don't care about that part. So these... Are these the same size as those, Barely. On a good day, that's the same size. Oh, man. All right. Why, no, they're not perfect at all. Of course, once the thing gets over-compressed anyway, I don't think it's going to matter one little bit, because that seems to be how these things are designed. And this is foam, question mark, mostly. I still don't like it, but I'll take it. Come on. Unless... Are you... Reason it doesn't fit is because I'm an idiot. I'm going to have to ruin this one, I fear. This does not belong there. And we'll just set you aside for now. I think these are actually slightly more narrow. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to make the assumption that these are slightly more narrow. And that is why I'm having the issue I'm having. There we go. Okay. We made it work. That's what we do here. We make it work. Good, bad, or other. Victory at any cost. Well, okay. Not any cost, but an acceptable cost. How's that? So we're going to get those all just kind of tucked in to make sure that they're fitting okay. And even then, this is not going to be visible, which is less of a concern, but I do at least want it to be moderately straight and correct. You know, we want something that looks like a proper attempt was made, even if it's not perfect. Because as the meme goes, ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so I'm not used to the upside down thing. So we've got our case top, got our board. Let's do a quick little test fit to make sure everything's happy and good. So that part goes this way. And then PCB goes down. And I'm just going to kind of grab the edges of the circuit board to kind of place it in. And we need the other half. And I'm not going to hook up the JST connector just yet. In fact, I should probably do this the other way around now that I think about it. That would make more sense instead of doing it upside down, because I can always flip it over. So yeah, that dude's going to go about there-ish, like that. Connector's going to go get hooked up. That drops on top. And I'm snagging it on the connector because that's a thing. All right, fine. We're hooking that up. I didn't want to do it on the test fit. You have forced my hand. The first time I did this, I actually didn't push the connector into the board hard enough, and it just kind of, I actually kind of had a little freak out. He's like, oh no, it's not powering on. And it's like, oh, I just didn't push hard enough. And that was all the difference. But yeah, these little surface mount doodads, it's like, oh, they're fragile. They're really not designed to be yanked on. So if I choose to change this board, I have to be careful when lifting. And if I just lift and pull real hard, it'll just yank that connector clean off. I've observed people experience this very event with their Bakken Echoes, and then they're really, really sad for various reasons. So it looks like there are screw points. No, there aren't. It's just holes. Okay. Interesting. Why are there? I mean, those are for the daughter board. A lot of screws for that. I see no... Those are the external case screws. What are those holes for? They don't really screw anything together. That's kind of odd. Yeah. I do not know the purpose of this hardware that's included. I have a bunch of little screws that do nothing, as far as I can tell. Because, I mean, the case is going to be held in place by the top. And it should just... drop down, screwed in place, and it goes nowhere at that point. I mean, it's there, and as I screw these down, it'll compress those pour-on strips, and it will not move. And yeah, that's that. I see no need to mess with these, because yeah, there's like, if you look here, I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can see the one at least by my hand. Let's see if I can get something that's pointing. Good for pointing. Like right there. And there. And there. And there. There are countersunk screw points, but there's nothing for it to actually screw into. In fact, there's, you know, a piece of case foam there. I used my first Alice, but I forced myself to use it for like a few months, and now I love it. Oh, good on you, man. I've been working towards getting used to using a 40%. At work, I bought one of the MechWild, however you, I'm gonna mangle this, like Mercutio. It's like a budget class FR4 stack board, and I like what the guy does, again, and exploring 40% on the cheap, that's an okay undertaking as far as I'm concerned. I don't have stream capabilities to solder, but yeah, I've got a decent soldering setup. All right, let's just kind of just knocking on it to see. Doesn't sound nearly as ringy. This is my Q1 that I built early last week, and it was okay. But yeah, they weren't kidding when they said the thing stock is really it rings a lot. So yeah, the board will vary from, you know, depending on my mood and what I've built lately. So there is a high possibility that this will eventually migrate over here once they get the firmware sorted out on this thing. All right, well, stick around for a moment. I need to spin my chair about and grab keycaps, because it's time for the decorating of the keycaps, and you know, you don't want to miss out on that. But I might have a second choice. I've got one that I'm gonna probably use, but okay, so let's see how the light does with the camera. And I apologize for bad camera work because it's all upside down and backwards and funky. So we have this. This is an SA set. It has a handful of red modifiers. So we've got a gray and white. And then for, this is not the right box. Let's try a different box. Keycaps and decorate this unit. So in this corner we have the gray and white SA, the tall boy from Talent Town. And then in the opposing corner, the Challenger, weighing in at a lot cheaper than GMK. It is an Akko. Sorry. Let's see if I can do this right. Black and gray set that's similar, but different. So yeah, what do you think? Do we do the gray and kind of slate, or do we do the white and kind of steel that are tall? And then I will comment on the... You like the Akko? All right. Anyone else want to comment on our keycap selection before we commit? Now, my biggest fear is I'm going to put this on here and it's going to be it doesn't have the kitting, but all right, we're doing Akko. We got 2 votes out of 3. Whew, that's a little stiff. Did I flip it? Oh. If I change my mind, I'm just going to undo it sometime later. All right, so what we're going to do, I know... All right, I'm just going to put it out there. I find sound tests to be absolutely the most infuriating thing ever because they're really inconsistent. There's lots of variables, etc. Blah, blah, blah. There are YouTube videos about it. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, a good sound test sounds just like it is kind of borderline ASMR. So just as a quick test, we'll see. I'm just trying to see if I get any really obvious ticky noises. Good, bad, other. I may have to... the hot swap board because, you know, while I can solder, I am lazy and don't want to have to mil-max everything. Let's see how that sounds. I don't know how well that's picking up on stream, but I am acceptably happy with that. That sounds good to me. I can cope with that. Cool. Let us press on. All right, come on. I know better than to force it. There we go. You might say, hey, what about the escape key? What are we going to do about the escape key? Well, Mr. Bull, are you still here? I can't see viewers. He may not be here. Oh, sad face. I think he left. All right, so... here's what I got. Focus. So this was one of those stupid bullets had a essentially custom cap of the month. And the first one was the UnFk key. So these are made out of aluminum. So, and they're quite nice, and they snap in with a little bit of force. There's that little bit of force, and there we go. It's a little deeper compared to the adjacent plastic, but that's perfectly fine. So let's see, can I move things so that we can kind of do that little show it off. Here we are. Bear with me. Camera is backwards from my actual hands, so yeah, about there. What do you think? And I can't type worth a crap, so this will be fun. So we'll just, you know, I'll just kind of type gobbledygook.